Welcome to The Rundown, everybody. Jason, joined by Jeremy Lin and Justin Moser. We're going to discuss who the second best NBA player of all time, I'm sorry, not of all time, of right now is, because the first player, the best player on the planet is LeBron James. There's no debating it. There's no arguing it. Please try in the comment section. You will fail. But we move forward because we're going to start with Justin on this one. Who is number two, and who does number two work for? Austin Powers. But Justin.
I think you have to go with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was the MVP before LeBron James, and even in the games they did play this year, he was putting up he put up 30 points in a quarter. Like the only other person to do that this year was Klay Thompson. Obviously, Klay Thompson's not really in the debate for second best player, but Kevin Durant was the MVP, and also who's more clutch than Kevin Durant in the last couple of years? I mean, when you want the ball in somebody's hands, LeBron's not really even that great of a shooter. I think Kevin Durant would really take place for maybe the most clutch person in the league. And it's been a year since he's played, so people aren't thinking about him, but I think he's definitely
It's tough to say LeBron isn't a clutch player looking at what he did during the finals, the fact that they won 2 games at all against that
But
Warriors
his shooting
team.
was pretty bad.
Yes.
I agree he was clutch,
Overall.
but his shooting was pretty bad.
His shooting in the clutch historically has been amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
LeBron James, yes. I mean, he had the game-winning 3 against your native Chicago
Yeah.
Bulls. And when he's needed to, he stepped up for the time. But I like the argument for Kevin Durant. I like because of exactly what you said before. He was the MVP of the league. He, barring any issues with his foot and looking at those training videos that he's been doing so far in the offseason, he can still elevate off of it. He's still going to probably be scoring possibly 30 points a game again. So a very, very good argument for the number 2 player. Steve.
It's a tie between Jeremy Lin and Yi Jianliang.
Who is Yi Jianliang?
I don't know.
Right.
He was with Milwaukee for a little bit. I don't know if he's still in the league. But I'm going to go with those guys. Yes, and Yao Ming.
Yao Ming.
Yes.
Yao Ming is 46.
He can still ball, I believe it.
I'm going to go with Anthony Davis. Because Anthony Davis can do everything. He's a guy who can build a whole team around. He's still very young. He's still getting better.
Yeah.
Is he 6'11" or 7 feet tall?
I think he just touches 7 feet.
He's still growing.
He's still growing. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, game-wise. He used to be a point guard, from what I understand, at a younger age. So he can handle the ball. He has beautiful touch on that mid-range game, and he can, elevate. He's a defensive phenom. He's crazy good on defense. He can pass the ball. He sees the court well. His spacing is terrific. He's a great one-on-one defender, as well as an unbelievable help defender. He can hit threes. There's nothing he can't do. There's nothing he can't do. So with a little bit more experience, a little bit more, it's weird to say this, but a little bit more strength in him perhaps, he's going to be better than LeBron in 2 years.
Yeah. Anthony Davis, in the words of Zach Lowe from Grantland.com, it's unfair how good at basketball he is. And he's matured. 3 years ago, he comes into the league, and you kind of look at him, and he looks like this gangly, awkward, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, because that's what he was, with the unibrow. And you kind of watch him play, and you're like, he probably is going to be a good player one day. And then his sophomore year, he starts defensively racking up blocks on a regular basis, clogging the lane, and gaining the touch that you just mentioned. And you're like, oh, he's going to be, unbelievably good. And then he starts playing last year and takes a scrub New Orleans Pelicans team to the 8th seed in the West in a conference that it's him against the world, and he's going to do the same thing this year.
They play competitively against Golden State, too,
They did.
in a couple
They
games.
did. If it wasn't for Steph Curry being probably the most clutch shooter in the NBA right now, they probably would have taken a game from Golden State, which doesn't mean much. It's the first round of the playoffs, but that's the hand you've been dealt. There is actually nothing Anthony Davis can't do, and he needs to fill out just a tiny bit, though. His shoulder injury could be a little bit of a problem moving forward, but as long injuries aside, without a doubt,
I mean, he's got all the tools. I mean, we all agree he has the physical tools, but he also has the basketball IQ. He has a desire to work and improve his game. He's a good teammate. He sees the court really well. I mean, he's got everything. Barring any kind of injury, there's no reason why he shouldn't be the best player in the league in a year or two.
And you guys are just mentioning tangibles, but let's talk about stats here. He actually has one of the highest PERs last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he was touching Will Chamberlain numbers. He was I think he had a 33 PER towards the beginning of the season. Even at the end, he was in the high 20s. So.
I just remember looking at Yahoo Sports, looking at the stat lines and the box score for games, and of course Ben Mankiewicz, one of the hosts we have on TOT Sports, will always make the argument that the regular season of basketball doesn't matter. But when you do look at the stat line, and I'm looking at it at week 3 of the NBA, week 8 of the NBA, I thought it was typos. It would be 27, 12, 10, 5, and 5. I'm like, that can't be right.
Like
5
every
steals,
category,
5,
he just
every
put- yeah,
category
every
completely
category.
filled across the board. And again, the touch, that's the one thing. Like if DeAndre Jordan learned that type of touch, he'd be an unstoppable player, maybe top 10 in the NBA, if he could ever learn to score that way. But I don't think he will. I have two crazy arguments, though.
So he can square up, face the basket, drive to the basket. He can pull up for a little mid-range jumper. He can play with his back to the basket. He can use either hand. I mean, he's got it all.
Yeah, he is, and especially on both offensive and defensive rebounding, just his ability to box out players that are bigger than him is impressive, and his length, his reach. He can just get places on the court that players don't necessarily know where or how to defend when you have that many intangible skills that he does. He's got Tim Duncan's moves. His influences are evident when he starts using the backboard. I don't want to leave out Kevin Durant from the rest of the conversation because I do think he is very much up there. But there's two players I want to mention, one of which I normally hate on, which is the Houston Rockets team in general. But James Harden is absolutely a top 5 player in the NBA. And making the argument for number 2 because he is potentially the best scorer in the NBA as we have right now. And the reason I'm making that argument is because we used to say Kobe Bryant was the best player in the NBA for the sole reason that he was the best scorer in the NBA. The game has changed, it's gotten smaller, it's gotten more athletic. But I look at what James Harden did with a troubled and not fundamentally sound Houston Rockets team, and they went to the Western Conference Finals and took 2 games from the Golden State Warriors. That's pretty impressive. And a lot of people hate on James Harden. I consistently hate on him, but he's found loopholes to make it work. There's an argument for him being the second best player in the NBA, considering he finished second in the MVP voting last year.
Yeah, I mean,
I know how much you love Houston Rockets basketball, Steve.
These arguments they make sense in an academic setting like this, but in real life, no way.
No way.
So I watched a game a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, before Paul George's injury, and Paul George absolutely shut him down and made James Harden look fairly useless. Now, this is one game, and everyone has a bad game. I get it. But he plays no defense, very, very little defense. And he gets a lot of his scoring is based off of his drives where he gets fouled, he gets the free throw line, terrific stuff. I mean, undoubtedly he's one of the best players, but number 2, no way, not even close.
The other crazy argument, and I don't think it's crazy because he was the MVP last year with Steph Curry, just because. And I would put Steph Curry above James Harden in my own personal rankings, my own personal book, but NBA champion, MVP. The prettiest shooter we've ever seen in the NBA. Steve, you've been alive not too much longer than the.
I don't think his shot is actually that pretty.
I think
it's very, very
prettier
effective
than Steph Curry's actually.
I agree. It's not. Steph Curry, no, he has a very quick release. He shoots it kind of like a little bit lower and just kind of just looks almost like he's heaving it because he kind of is sometimes.
Always goes in.
No. The results are beautiful, but the shot itself. It's not that.
What about
pretty.
how he sets up the shot itself?
What? Well, that's because he has crazy handles.
Yeah.
I think his dribbling is underrated. No one talks about it. His dribbling allows him to get to any spot on the court, and that's why he can take these shots.
I know we love shots fired on the show, so I'm gonna shots fired to Steph Curry. Now he didn't play a single good point guard in the playoffs this year, not one.
That's true.
Nobody pushed him.
Injury-riddled,
Nobody pushed him. He was not tired like Jimmy Butler is running all over the court guarding LeBron, and Curry was Kyrie Irving was injured. Patrick Beverley wasn't playing on the Rockets. Was it Drew Holiday?
I wish he got the physical Memphis Grizzlies matchup with Mike Conley for the full stint of it because it would have been. I mean, that's a great defensive point guard.
Yeah.
And look, I love Steph Curry. I love the Warriors. I'm happy for them. But they got a little bit lucky this year in the playoffs. They didn't have to face the Clippers or the Spurs, who I thought were the 2 best teams.
They will next year
in the West, other than Golden State. And he wasn't even the MVP of the finals on his own team.
Yeah.
So it's hard to argue that he's the second best player in the league. Plus, I'll make this offer to you: if you're Golden State or if you're the Pelicans, would you trade Steph Curry for Anthony Davis straight up?
Jeez.
Would anyone do that?
No.
Didn't we make the argument earlier that if you were going to make a franchise around one player,
it's Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
What's interesting is we did, and Steve, you might have been a part of that clip. We've done a clip about a year ago on if you could pool all the players into one draft now and redraft every single team, every single player, who goes number 1. Everyone's at their ages now. almost everybody unanimously took Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Just because,
has
and
to be,
LeBron goes too, just because he's old.
He's older, yeah.
And that's and not old yet, but if you're going to build a team, it is Anthony Davis. I think that does wrap it up. Do we have any other players that we want to talk about? Anybody? No? Yes? Any other crazy?
Derrick Rose next season.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen what he wears around his knees? I swear there's an extra 8 pounds
Derrick
of
Rose,
waistband.
that answer is almost as bad as the Jeremy Lin answer.
Whoa. Insanity is close to my heart, Steve, as a Knicks fan.
I'm not saying Derrick Rose is the same as Jeremy Lin. I'm saying, of course he's better, but the answer is almost as bad.
Okay. All right.
Jeez.
I'm a homer. I'll take it.
Justin, Steve-O, our COO of the Young Turks, by the way, to give you a proper title for you there. Jason Rubin here. The Rundown in partnership with thepostgame.com and TYT Sports. Make sure to check out the Rundown. All the clips, we have a playlist for you guys. Annotations everywhere. You can click on Justin to subscribe to the Rundown. You can click on Steve-O to subscribe to TYT Sports. Leave all your comments in the section below. Who is the second best NBA player? Please save yourself the embarrassment of trying to argue with me that anybody is better than LeBron James.